Hey, what's up, Bill? My name is Phil. I've been watching you on your channel since you've started this. I even left a comment or two, and you gave me a thumbs up on the last one. I appreciate that. As I said then, and we'll say it again now, I support you and I believe in you, even if you don't believe in yourself. Not that you don't. You obviously do. So I'm super glad that you're going on this journey. I'm actually using you as a guide or example to help, that has helped and is continuing to help convince my own personal grandma of 79 years old to finally kind of switch to the carnivore diet. She's not going 100% just full swing the other way because she has some medical problems she's dealing with, so we have to gradually get her there. But you are also inspiring her and others. And I've watched your videos, and I like what you're doing and seeing, and I definitely wish the best for you, man. I'm part of the things you are developing and learning are things like resiliency, mental fortitude, toughness, the ability to bounce back from the low, essentially. And yeah, I just wanted to put this message out there for you. Hopefully you see it. I've been meaning to tell you somehow, maybe through Carrie, to create like an Instagram, because I would be invested in order to see a post from you, a picture with a small caption, say twice a week, 3 times a week, just a little snapshot of what you're doing for your food, how maybe a short video, a 1 minute, a short, on how your day's going or something like that, the diet particularly, marking and noting the positive changes. I like to hear the positivity. I like to hear the kinds of things that would sound something like, I'm continuing to notice I have new levels of energy. Like the time that you sat on the bed, by the way, and you had something to do. I totally get that. I was there with you, and you wanted to go do something. That's that motivation. That's that drive you can get that's been absent from your life. And in that moment, in the future, because it will happen again, do something. You know how you just can't do something? Like you didn't know what to do? Do something. So, obviously, you can't do push-ups. I'm doing roughly around 200 push-ups a day right now. I know I may not look like it with my meat sticks, right? My twigs. But I'm actually able to do somewhere around 200 push-ups a day right now. And you can do the very exact same thing. I have 2 8-pound dumbbells. I'm not trying to impress anybody. I'm not trying to blow out my elbow. I have a limited amount of elbow grease, and I know I'm gonna be wasting it on a bunch of stuff, right? So just getting something I'm telling my grandma as an example, because she has trouble standing up and sitting down. I'm like, just do that. Just sit down and stand up like 10 times a day. Something like that, and put your on, and then grandma has some shoulder issues. So I'm like, also, she has this can that she couldn't get to the top shelf. I'm like, every day, practice trying to get that can up there, and eventually, one day you will be able to do it. It's your own personal form of self-discipline physical therapy. And that's essentially what you're going through right now. So definitely stick to the diet, do everything you can. I support you, like I've said, all the way. I hope you do a video back. I thought about this. I would like you to be, me and you, do the first ever, as far as I'm aware, digital video pen pal from states away. Because I know you're in Alaska. I call you Alaska Bill, which is A-B, Abe. So actually, a lot of times, I call you Abe, even though it's because it means Alaska Bill. But anyway, so I know you're in Alaska, and I'm here in Round Rock, but if you don't know where that is, Austin, Texas. So yeah, many loves coming over here. We're dealing with heat waves and droughts right now. You're up there living the best life in that beautiful scenery, by the way. Stunning. I've never been to Alaska. And if it wasn't too weird or creepy, if I was like a millionaire, for an example, and I stumbled across your story, for a fact, I would have, if it would have been cool and not too weird, have like flown out there and dropped however many thousands of dollars to make sure that you could just focus on this diet 24/7 so you wouldn't have to worry about anything. Personally, that's a little bit about me. that's one of the things, that kind of things that I'm trying to do in this world. I believe I'm a force for good. I want to be a force for good, and I'm striving very hard to do that. Particularly, I want to become a multimillionaire and run for political office. And I'm currently in the process of becoming. Well, that's my whole speech. I'll give you that later. But long story short, actually, I don't know where it's going to. I lose my train of thoughts a lot because I have a lot going on in my head. But that's why it's a digital journal. I don't know. What time am I? 5 minutes? Okay, cool. Maybe like a 10-minute video. So anyway, I don't know. I'm gonna have to edit this part out. You're a dwarf, Daisy. So anyway, so I kind of lost track where I was going, so I'll just kind of start anew. But you're exercising. Like when you're out there or something, when you're like getting up, like get like 8-pound weights and kind of like just start putting them above your head or something like that. Because it really will be the best for you. Because I want the absolute best for you. So anyway, like I was saying before I got distracted, I went on a tangent. And I edited it out. Don't worry about that. But long story short, excuse me. I'm trying to run for political office because I want to pursue all the good things in the world, and I truly believe and understand. My bad. I kept not looking at the camera. I'm practicing that. I'm new to YouTube as well. I'm talking into just a lens and not a human face. Usually, I like looking at my face because I'm kind of a narcissist. I like looking at me. Do a lot of lip syncing in the mirror, kind of a thing. So I'm still working on my habits, so I apologize for that. But anyway, I'm trying to go into politics because I fully understand that the pen is mightier than the sword. And combined with all of this influence, I also believe that in general, according to Dr. Chafee with the interview with Carrie on Homestead How, I fully believe, from my understanding, that minus India, because they don't eat cows, right? But basically, the whole world could actually survive on just cattle. And so in order to feed humanity, we would actually only need to grow, so to speak, the grass to feed the cow and then the cows. Everything else would be secondary or not necessary. Like, who doesn't like, chicken fingers? Well, I guess you can't have fingers, right? But like non-seasoned buffalo wings, things like that, right? But obviously, who doesn't like bacon and chicken and things like that too, fish. But in general, we could technically just live off. And if everybody just ate beef off the top of my head, that would allow our oceans to come back, which obviously is a huge thing on the environment and things like that, overfishing and whatnot. So anyway, as part of this influence of the pen is mightier than the sword, I am actively pursuing like I said, a political career and want to also push the carnivore diet. Not push, but help spread the word and get the word out that this thing, it totally exists. It is, in fact, the best diet for any human on the planet. And I really want to help get that message out. So I'm glad that you're doing your part. You're contributing even beyond that by contributing to the movie and the Carnivore. It's carnivoremovie.com. I will hopefully remember to put a link in description for any random people that might see this video. It's not a private journal, so don't say anything too embarrassing. But I will put the link in the description and things like that for anybody who wants to check it out and donate. Just for year reference, it's 2023, so you might want to double check, make sure it's still viable 3 years later to be donated to, but it hasn't already been released or something. But yeah, I definitely want to contribute to that, and I'm super glad that you're doing your part, and I hope to some effect that this documentary has the same kind of grassroots movement, if you will, that the latest movie, Sound of Freedom, about stopping the largest child trafficking ring in history in the world, is about. So I hope it has that kind of similar impact, but in a twist of a more positive outcome, being the overwhelming positivity of the carnivore diet and the things that it can help anybody, everybody. So that's my message, and like I said, I really hope that you do this pen pal thing with me, digital, a journal, video journal, digital pen pal, and I hope, again, wish you the best, and I hope that you are able to do what you can. Your channel is way bigger than mine. Because I am, it's going to sound weird, but I'm too well off in order to receive the kind of support that you have. Nobody feels sorry for me. Nobody feels bad for me. Nobody wants to help me do any of that stuff. I've always had to do everything my entire life. I've always had to rely on me with minimal help, minimal support nets. I've had help here and there, but I've almost always had to rely on me. And I'm currently I'm in an okay position. I should be in a better position, but some pre-COVID stuff. I made some bad financial. I didn't see COVID coming. I made some bad investment kind of stuff and kind of rocking a hard place right now in general. But I always know I'm going to get out of it, so no worries there. I'm military tough, Army trained, Sigma, which is above an Alpha. I'm one of the most mentally elite people on the planet, even if not physical and stuff like that. But and on this journey of your kind of discovery and all that kind of stuff, I want to help you get there. I want to help bring you to my level so that way you can go off and conquer the world in the best way that you see fit, which is what I'm doing through politics. Spreading the word, picking your motivation, the pedestal, the massive achievement, the goal that you're going to shoot for and maintain for the infinite contest of game theory beyond the carnivore diet. For me, in general, I just want to make the world a better, happier place. Protect the nuclear family, the American dream, capitalism, and continue to spread love and prosperity throughout the world. Carnivore diet is just going to help make sure I stay young and healthy. Not young, but healthy in order to do that for as long as possible. So I haven't really seen you talk about your personal life that much, your goals, ambitions, your interest, Star Wars, Star Trek, which one do you prefer? Or do you just like DC, Marvel, all of it, none of it? I would like to get to know you as a person, so one of these days when I can afford to come up there and visit you through these chats, we might also be close like brothers, because I really don't have any friends or family. I have one grandma and two friends. One lives in Hawaii, one lives in Montana, and I'm in Texas. So I'm fairly isolated. Grandma just moved here to Texas a couple weeks ago from California. It took me 3 years to convince her, but I got her here. And she's 79, so she's not going to be around this planet forever. But like I said, I think this would be really cool. Another way for you to make a new friend, for me to make a new friend, start branching out my own circle, allow my arms to be able to help kind of encircle those who I want to protect and help. And I love teaching. I love learning. I love passing on knowledge, asking me a million questions about anything. I'm super in touch with my feminine side, being raised by grandma. I talk too much like Gilmore Girls. As you can see, I'm over 10 minutes. And I assure you I can, well, I don't know if you can see it, but I can see it. Editing, I might be able to make this a little bit shorter than that, but but I can talk for days and days and days about everything, and the big thing in general, if I haven't already mentioned it, not that I'm worried, but something I want to ensure that you also develop is that mental fortitude, that +4 defense that's going to allow you to repel fireball, or however you want to phrase it. I think that's extremely important. There's many ways to say this. I'd rather be prepared than not prepared. I'd rather have a gun and need it and not have it than have it and not need it. Kind of, there's all these different ways to say that. But my favorite way that I've heard, and I got this from the Joe Rogan show, is that, or I'm going to paraphrase it a little bit, I think. But what he said was, I'd rather be a warrior on a farm than a farmer in a war zone. And as far as I can tell, previous to the carnivore diet, for whatever reasons, you allowed or let yourself get into the state of a farmer in a war zone. And this new energy has given you back that fighting spirit, that Viking. You can't really tell my tattoos, they're all Viking. I'll show you my big back piece real fast if I know how to line it up correctly. That's the helmet of Odin, his eyes, Hugin and Munin, and then that's in case you didn't hear me. It's the Odin's helmet, and the two things between the trunks. My bad, camera. Stop looking at my face. In between the trunks are the ravens, Hugin and Munin, which are thought and desire. They represent his eye patch, because in the lore, he sacrificed his eye for all the knowledge in the universe, basically. And then the other side, which looks like an eye, is an actual star cluster in space. That's what it looks like. It's called the Helix Nebula, and it's commonly referred to as the Eye of God. So this is Odin's face, keeping an eye on my six, protecting me and guiding me throughout my life choices. My personal compass. I obviously identify as pagan. On it, but obvious. But identify as pagan. I like their lore, I like their mythology. My favorite thing about them, as a whole, in general, is that they leave humanity alone. All basically Odin promises the people is he's going to keep the frost giants away. And I don't know about you, but I don't think of frost giants. So, like, Odin for president? I don't know, right? So anyway, so that's me in a nutshell, and I super hope to go farther with you in this conversation. And just in case, I guess, you don't have anything to say, I'm going to re-reference some of my questions, because I would like to get to know you, brother from another mother, miles away in another place. I'm not a poet, and you'll soon know it. Anyway, like, again, do you prefer Star Wars over the counter to that, whatever that's called right now, Star Trek? Or are you a Marvel DC fan? Who's your favorite superhero? Who's your favorite villain? Who's your favorite person from history? I love history. Epic rap battles of history. I have some of those basically memorized because I listen too much, like on repeat. Like when you hear that, when your heart's broken or something, and you just hear that breakup song that you just put on repeat for like 3 days straight. Yeah, I put epic rap battles and history on just because I like history and I understand the references brilliantly. Yeah, I understand the true genius that it is. So who's your favorite person from history? One of my biggest idols is Alexander the Great. I generally think he's one of the greatest influencers, if you will, of all time. Followed very closely by King Arthur. More the myth than the man, I think, but either way, still up there. And then a third one for me, just to name 3, would be Nikola Tesla. He's another great guy that I admire massively, that again, just one of the best for humanity, and made, despite his craziness, made many sacrifices, and wanted basically no money for it. He just wanted to make the world a better place. As I truly believe, what I sense from your videos is in your heart of hearts. I can tell that you have I don't want to say a heart of gold, but you most definitely have pure intentions. And I would love to see that flourish in you. So please ask any questions of me that you want. Some background for me real fast, so you know a little bit about me. The speech I mentioned earlier, 20 minutes. See what I mean? I suck at this too, not just you. But some things about me real fast. My name is Philip Hodges. I'm 33 years old. I'm a United States military veteran who had and maintained a top secret clearance working in military intelligence. Through the Army, I worked for NSA, specializing in multiple fields of intelligence, being signals intelligence, electronic intelligence, imagery intelligence. But imagery analysis that's the act, but the field is intelligence. Along with geospatial intelligence as well. I'm also a self-taught foreign exchange market trader, which I can easily transfer my skills to stocks and crypto. I've branched off into crypto already. Stocks, right now, obviously in the economy, this is not the time to invest in stocks. We got some waiting to do still. So I can do all that. I just recently, this last year, super excited, I just became a tax preparer. It's one of the most fun things I've done in my entire life because I love numbers. And since the military, I wasn't able to use my skills at all. I was essentially trapped inside of my mind, much like how you were trapped inside of your house. And through taxes, I'm finally able to use my skill set, my ability to its full potential, and that's where I get a lot of value. And I like it so much, I'm actually studying to become an EA agent, which is an enrolled agent, because I want to be able to not only do for my own businesses, some that are established but not really worth mentioning, and some other ones that I want to do eventually. I want to be able to do not only my own business taxes, but along with other people's taxes. And the nice thing about the EA is that's the highest, I'm gonna make it like a title, not like a video game thing. This is my banner, my thing. But it's the highest honor that the IRS can bestow upon me, and that will also allow me to represent clients in front of a court of law. So that's what I'm actively working on right now, studying. My books are over there. But I have like Taxes for Dummies right here. You can't see it, it's in a bookshelf. But I have the Taxes for Dummies right there. And I downloaded, you don't want to hear about taxes. But anyway, so that's some of the backgrounds around me and my current pursuit as I'm trying to create, like I said, my own YouTube channel. Not exactly inspired by you. You are not the catalyst or the linchpin or anything. But most definitely a contributing factor. After I saw your videos, and obviously I'm not going to the subscriber base you did. But regardless, you know, much kind of similar to the diet, if you expand out to thinking. I'm talking too much, I'm aware. That you just want to be able to show the world that you're going to go based on your about information, follow your journey. Hello from Alaska, follow me at Carnivore Diet Journey from 700 pounds to 200 pounds. And from some of the things, if I remember correctly, am I talking too fast? I do that when I get excited, I apologize. My words per minute are rivaled with the Eminem rap song. If you had trouble understanding me, I apologize. You gotta remind me of these kind of things if I ever meet you in person. But for my gatherings, much like what you want to do in the videos is kind of the vague notion of show the world, if I can do this, so can you. I basically am going to go along those same lines. It's almost a parallel from what I'm telling you. So I guess with that, hopefully I didn't drive you crazy or anything like that. Again, I wish you the best. I wish you the most. And this is the final thing I'll say to try and get you to, I don't know, engage with my content or something. Engage with me. I'm not really that concerned with my content. Hopefully people find our conversation interesting. You know, once a week or something like that. Do your regular post, but then like one other video. Just do like a 10-minute, I guess it'd be like a journal entry, but to a pen pal, a digital pen. I've explained that enough. I over-explain things. My bad. But I want to read you my own personal list real fast of, it's called Phil's Rules of Life. And I spell Phil, by the way, F-Y-L, because I'm special and unique. I'm the center of the universe. I'm not the most important thing in the universe, but I am the center of it. Perception's reality. Anyway, here are Phil's Rules of Life, right? Now I have 10. That's just a coincidence. It was 9. And I have 11 on here. I just haven't thought of an 11th thing yet. But anyway. Rule number, and these are some loose guidelines for you, I think, to help your mental state and focus and all that kind of stuff, which I mentioned earlier. All news is fake. And then a subpart. A, do your own research. B, get multiple sources. I did that. That's why I believe in the carnivore diet. It's not a belief. It's a fact base. It's not a belief. It's fact. I don't know what you would say about that. 2, remember this. Everyone wants your money. Everyone. Guard it. Protect it. Don't give it out. Even when it seems like you haven't what may appear or feel like a bottomless pit of money or something. If you, for some reason, you were to acquire that, realize that it is not. I looked through all the descriptions and I saw a lot of investments and stuff like that, which is excellent. Poor people save, rich people invest. Keep that in mind. 3, others call them dreams. I call them obtainable goals. Some of these are rap lyrics, by the way. These are just kind of phrases and stuff that I like in general. Some I made up, some I twisted, some are exact copies of something else. So that was 3. 4, this is one I definitely modified, but I say this all the time. When you shoot for the sky, you will always hit it. But shoot for the stars, and you might hit the moon. Who knows? Maybe you'll get to 180 pounds and just be ripped like The Rock or something like that. I couldn't tell you. I don't know. And here's number 5. I think this is an important one for you. You are number 1 in your world. But you are not the only one in your world. I don't think that second part is so much of a is not as applicable to you. But because you're already aware and you want others to be inspired by you, which is very good. But in my belief, one reason how you got to the state you found yourself in is because you forgot you were the hero of your own journey. You are number 1 in your world. And every hero has to have, not have to die per se, but have some type of death and reborn experience. And I essentially think this is the beginning of your rebirth. 6, you've already discovered this one. Adventure begins at the end of your comfort zone. 7, always be honest and tell the truth. Subpart A, even if it hurts feelings. Because the truth is much more important than the sparing of somebody's feelings. I'll give you some examples if you have questions later about anything. Number 8, long-term results will always be better with cooperation. That's more of a business, political thing, not so much applicable to us, but it's on the list. Just, food for thought. Keep that in mind. 9, might be a big one because now you're getting involved in the internet. Haters will always say you can't do or achieve your goal and or dream. Then they'll say they believed in you, or they always have believed in you after you've made it. So keep that in mind. Remember those, in my personal opinion, particularly women, assuming you're interested in women, not like a straight gay thing, but like they're on your plate of options or whatever. I don't want to get involved with him, but that's me. But particularly in that regard, keep an eye on those that support you now when you're at your lowest. Now that you're going to get presumably some level of money and fame, be very guarded about it. And then in A, there's a subpart to this one too. Haters may include family and friends. The reason I am basically family and friendless is because I've been betrayed by blood, and I've learned that blood is thicker than water is not true at all. Roughly scientifically is true, but applicable in actual moral human implications, that is not true. And 10, this is a direct quote that I remember the person from this time, Joshua Campbell. We must be willing to get rid of the life we've planned so as to have the life that is waiting for us. So my 10-minute video, according to this timestamp, is basically at 30 minutes. So with that, I will say goodbye, and I look forward to your response, answers, questions, thoughts, concerns, interests, anything, if you do see this. And anybody who does see this that's not Bill, if you could share, like, forward it to him, tag him, something so he can see it, I would super appreciate that. And I guess I do my normal sign off on these kind of things, even though I didn't really do the intro. But, and with that, this Phil, we'll see you in the future.